Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and force. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take his chances that a jury agrees.
Isn't that, to my mind, that's one of the bigger hurdles in selecting a jury this coming week, is that there is, at least anecdotally, when I talk to people, they have that opinion, strongly held opinion, that there's celebrity tapes, that they've kind of conflated Epstein, and you mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell and all of these things into Diddy. There's this idea that somehow this is Epstein redux or something.
This is going to be such a massive trial, like maybe the biggest Hollywood trial. God knows which way it's going to go. Is it going to go on for weeks?
For sure, weeks.
Diddy, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, did not show any signs of emotion. He took a sip of water before he was led out of the...
What made you come here to support Puff?
I'm supporting Puff because he's innocent, and I'm wholeheartedly believing his innocence, and I know he's innocent. So
you say you know he's innocent?
1,000%.
This is lawyers argue the evidence shows consenting adults being intimate in their own way.
Major developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Elaborate, sometimes days-long parties by coercing victims through drugs, threats, and manipulation. They claim to have video evidence, and some of the accusations echo details from over 70 civil lawsuits filed against Combs over the last 30 years.
A prison cell phone crackles to life, and a voice that once shook the music industry delivers a bombshell. Suge Knight, the feared Death Row Records mogul, is ready to testify against Sean Diddy Combs to shave years off his 28-year sentence. This isn't just a courtroom twist. It's a betrayal that could unravel Diddy's empire and expose decades of hip-hop's darkest secrets. Why is Suge flipping? What does he know? Buckle up, because this story is about to explode. The news dropped like a grenade in early 2025. Suge Knight, serving time for voluntary manslaughter, is in talks with prosecutors to testify in Diddy's federal case. Posts on X buzzed with the revelation, citing sources close to the U.S. Attorney's Office. For those who know hip-hop history, this is seismic. Suge and Diddy, once titans of rival labels Death Row and Bad Boy, have been enemies since the 90s, their feud tied to the murders of Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. Now, with Diddy facing charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and more, Suge's willingness to talk could be the nail in the coffin. But what's driving this? Let's break it down. First, Suge Knight. The co-founder of Death Row Records built an empire on raw power and fear. From launching Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac to running LA's rap scene like a kingpin, Suge was untouchable, until he wasn't. His rap sheet is long: assault, probation violations, and a 2015 hit-and-run that killed businessman Terry Carter, landing him a 28-year sentence. Now 60, Suge's been behind bars at San Diego's R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility since 2018, with parole not on the table until 2034. But Suge's no stranger to cutting deals. Sources say he's negotiating with the feds to reduce his sentence. And his bargaining chip? Dirt on Diddy. Diddy's case is a beast of its own. Sean Combs, the Bad Boy Records founder, went from Harlem hustler to global icon, with a billion-dollar brand spanning music, fashion, and liquor. But in 2024, the feds came knocking. Raids on his Miami and LA mansions turned up hard drives, phones, and documents allegedly tied to a criminal enterprise. The charges? Racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. Accusations that could lock Diddy up for life. The indictment paints a grim picture. Claims of coerced freak-off parties, drug-laced drinks, and a network of enablers. Diddy's been in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center since his September 2024 arrest, awaiting a trial set for May 2025. His lawyers call it a witch hunt. Prosecutors say they've got him dead to rights. So, why Suge? The man's been vocal about Diddy for years, even from prison. On his podcast, Collect Call with Suge Knight, launched in 2023, he's dropped cryptic warnings. In a March 2024 episode, he told Diddy. Your life is in danger because you know the secrets, hinting at hidden tapes and powerful figures tied to Diddy's parties. Suge claimed Diddy was an FBI informant, a charge that's never been proven but fuels speculation. Now, X posts suggest Suge is ready to back up his talk with testimony, offering specifics, names, dates, events that could bolster the Fed's case. In return, he's angling for a sentence reduction, possibly cutting his time by a decade. The history between these two is key. In the 90s, Death Row, West Coast, and Bad Boy, East Coast, were at war, a rivalry that turned deadly. Tupac, signed to Death Row, was gunned down in 1996. Biggie, Bad Boy's star, was killed in 1997. Both murders remain unsolved, but Suge's name has been linked to conspiracies, with some alleging he orchestrated hits to protect his empire. Diddy's faced similar whispers. Their beef wasn't just business, it was personal. At the 1995 Source Awards, Suge took a shot at Diddy on stage, mocking Bad Boy's flashy style. Diddy hit back through his artist's diss tracks. The tension never faded, and now it's resurfacing in a courtroom. What does Suge know? That's the million-dollar question. Prosecutors likely see him as a goldmine because of his proximity to Diddy during hip-hop's wildest era. Suge's been around the same circles: parties, studios, backroom deals. Ex-users are buzzing with theories. Some say he's got details on Diddy's alleged freak-offs, where powerful figures were recorded in compromising situations. Others think he can tie Diddy to financial schemes, maybe even the racketeering charges. In a 2024 News Nation interview with Chris Cuomo, Suge hinted at industry-wide misconduct, saying Diddy didn't get to where he got by himself and was taught by people before him. If Suge names names, executives, artists, or politicians, it could blow the case wide open. But let's not kid ourselves. Suge is no saint. His motives are murky. A reduced sentence is a big incentive, but revenge could be too. Diddy's rise eclipsed Suge's, especially after Death Row's collapse in the early 2000s. While Diddy built Ciroc and Sean John, Suge was in and out of jail, his legacy tarnished. Testifying could be Suge's chance to settle old scores, to drag Diddy down with him. Plus, Suge's credibility is shaky. His history of violence and legal battles gives Diddy's defense plenty to work with. They'll paint him as a desperate convict, willing to lie for freedom. In a September 2024 interview, Diddy's former lawyer Mark Garagos dismissed Suge's claims, saying he's got no insight into recent events. Still, prosecutors don't need Suge to be perfect, just believable enough to sway a jury. The stakes for Diddy are brutal. The feds have physical evidence, electronics, ledgers, maybe even videos from the raids. But witnesses like Suge could humanize the case, turning data into a story. If Suge testifies about specific incidents, like parties or deals gone wrong, it could corroborate other accounts, like those from Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, who sued him in 2023 for abuse. Her lawsuit, settled quickly, sparked the federal probe, and her allegations mirror the indictment's claims. Other voices, former Bad Boy artists, party insiders, might follow Suge's lead, creating a chorus too loud to ignore.